figure out. Writers imagine that they quote stories from the world, that it's actually the other way around. Story quotes story from the world. Story reveal themselves to us. Aradhan Roy. Darkness, water, mumbling noise, tight hands, cramped, can't breathe. All of a sudden there was light, and I was lifted from the dark, crowded place. But the situation didn't improve any. I was hung on the air with a string. One end attached to the ceiling, the other end was me. I could clearly feel the hook pass through the muscle of my back. I was like a winter coat that has hung on a coat rack. Only differences was that I was hung with a string, not a stand. The fluorescent bulb was shot out the light like the one you would encounter when we're laying on a surgical table. I tried hard to open my eyes and adjust to accommodate it. I knew nothing. The first thing I should do was to figure out where I was. I was still struggling with the light. From my blurry and narrow sight, I saw a stainless table on my right. Knives lay on the top of the table, so shiny, so cold. Mountain chain-like unknown bottles with different shapes and colors stand behind those knives. Even I could barely see them clearly. I still could tell there were dry bloodstains and greasy scraps lying on the table. The only two colors of the room were white and silver. White for safety, silver for respect. So where am I? I tried to ignore the pain from my back and focus on the situation here. But it was so hurt that I can hardly concentrate on thinking. Right now, I was both hand-tied with tapes and the impression in the safe, respectful space. No matter where I was, I need to self-rescue. I should be glad that my hands and my feet weren't tied together. So I moved my body little by little so that my hand could reach the string. Oh, the pain from my back confirmed my belief on escaping this crap place. I rubbed the tapes against the string and tried to put this theory that my elementary school teacher had taught me into practice, using the heat generated by rubbing to cut the tape. Clearly, I didn't realize how sharp the hook in my back was. The pain swallowed my consciousness, little by little. The action of robbing didn't slow down. It became an instinct. Then a man showed up. He was not tall, but not short either. He was skinny, and his cheekbones were like the corners of an angled table that hurts as hell every time you run into it. On the edged face there was no expression, or he was too serious to have expression. Some shiny silver hair told that he might in his mid-age. His clothing was all white, a white shirt with top to bottom open, a white pants with a white but stained cloth surround on his lap. He grabbed one of the unknown bottles from the table near me with his left hand, scissors on his right. He's heading on my way. What was he gonna do to me? I stopped my escape attempt, and then he seemed like knew all my tricks. From his mouth, I heard an undertone chuckle. I tried to avoid the man and move away from him, but the hook went through her every time I tried to move. He was getting closer and closer, and my body quivered faster and faster. When the man was here, he didn't hurt me with the scissors. Instead, he released my hands. While I was puzzled with his intention of freeing me, he poured out the liquid on my head from the bottle he grabbed on the way he walked toward me. Rivulets of liquid streamed down and permeated into the wound on my back like the hook did. burning. It was alcohol, and I was sure it must be a hot one, because the wound on my back hurt like thousands of boiled needles were stabbing me. I waved my hands out of instinct and believed this could ease my pain, but this only made it worse. Burning. The man left as soon as he finished the entire bottle, still with no expression. The room turned back to silence, like he never came. Only the alcohol bottle and the pain prove his existence. Right now, the question about where I am seemed pointless, and then all I want was to get out of here, lively. Same procedures, same tortures, same pain. I had no idea how long I had passed out, but I'd rather be passed out because I won't feel anything, especially the pain. In my dizziness, I could feel a cold hand lifted me from the hook, and I was placed on an even colder place. As I was recollecting my consciousness, a bright silver light flashed in my eyes. Chopped. There were twinges on my hands, more specifically on my arms. My hands were cut off, chopped. Then were my legs. It was too hurt to think or figure out anything now, but I still didn't know who I was or where I was. Smokes aroused and haunted in the room like a ghost under the bright fluorescent bulb. The knives were still lying on the stainless table, so shiny, so cold. Here is your today's special teppanyaki drunken lobster. Please enjoy. The waiter, with his signature smile that he had done it for thousands of times, mechanically served the dish to these two white couple guests. The small table for two shrinked when the dish was placed on it. The man didn't look up when the waiter was serving the dish. The light that spotted on their table was like all absorbed by the man and his newspaper. He was so concentrated on his global financial section. The shadow of the newspaper covered the entire lobster dish and almost the entire table. The woman seemed annoyed by her boyfriend's ignorance on her. She looked at the man, and her mouth was open like a baby who were accepting the feeding from her mother. She stopped the complaints before they went out of her mouth. Before the words went out of her mouth, she was attracted to the front page of the newspaper. Italian Navy recovers ship containing at least 300 Thailand migrants' bodies. 10 magnified, bolded words was lying on the headline of the newspaper. Glad that it wasn't our ship. Like a release, the woman talked to the man, trying to draw his attention. The man was still drowning himself into the financial news, and gave the woman a vague answer as an exchange for silence. Then the woman stopped the fight with the news. She started enjoying their dish. Back in the kitchen, the waiter was folding the boxes that used to hold the lobsters. Air mail from Thailand, fragile items, were all thrown into the dark dumpster. Lightness, land, giggling smiles, man and woman, imitated, ignorant.